that made my day that you would read something that I recommend. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I watch you all the time. I'm always getting books from your book club.
All right, so I am here with one of my favorite musicians and definitely one of my literary inspirations who has done so much for literacy in our country, and that is Dolly Parton. Hi, Dolly.
Well, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing great. I got my hands on this book, and I wanted just to read every page about all of your lyrics. How did you decide to write that?
Well, it's called Songteller, and I write songs and I tell stories, so I thought that would be the perfect thing to call the book. It really has pictures and kind of follows my career from my childhood, a lot of pictures that a lot of the fans have not seen, and then, of course, I tell the stories behind about 175 of the thousands of songs I've written, but we couldn't put them all in there. But I talk about how they came about and where I was at that time in my life. So I think people find that of interest to know why and how you write things.
Well, obviously writing songs is an art. You know, songwriting is something that I'm sure is just in your soul. What is it like when you sit down to write a song?
Well, it's a very personal thing. I grew up in a very musical family. All of my mom's people were musical, so music was always a big part of us anyway. But my guitar, I always say, is my best friend. It's my therapist. It's my doctor, whatever. It's like I can kind of work out every kind of emotion. And so I just kind of get in that place where I can kind of write about being sad, write about being happy. I can write for other people and about their problems that are not able to write. So I love that I'm able to express myself and express the feelings of other people through my music.
We've asked a lot of our Read with Jenna community if they had questions for you, and I can't even, there's no way we'll get to all of them because that's
well, do a few of them.
Okay, we're going to get to a few, but that is how inspiring you are to us. This is a really good one. I always wanted to know, did your dad ever learn how to read?
Well, Susie, my dad never did learn how to read, but my dad took such pride in me having him involved in helping me set up and work the Imagination Library, the program that we have. He got to see the Imagination Library do really well before he passed, and so I always feel like he's looking down thinking, you go, girl. And so he never did learn to read, but that's all right. He really added a lot of wonderful things to a lot of children that are able to read because of our little program.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All of these kids that learn to read, maybe because he didn't know how. At Steffa09 said, what is your favorite book you send out through the Imagination Library?
My favorite one still is the very first one that we send out. It's called The Little Engine That Could. It was a book that I loved when I was young, and it gave me a lot of confidence. And so that's the one I feel like is very important to send out first. And we probably will always keep that little book in our Imagination Library because I think it kind of starts them off to say, I think I can. And I always say, I'm proof of that because I am a little engine that did.
Don't you love that? What books have you read during this time? Anything you can recommend to us that might lift our spirits?
Well, a couple of books that actually are from your book club that you recommended a while back. One is the Girl with the Louding Voice. I loved that little book. And then I also love Dear Edward, that was from your book club that you had recommended to me, I think when you were at Dollywood, and I got the books and I thought they were great. So I haven't been able to read a lot right now. I usually try to read all the time. Mm-hmm. And so, but those are two of your books that I've read, and Dolly, I would recommend that people enjoy.
That made my day that you would read something that I recommend. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I watch you all the time. I'm always getting books from your book club.
Well, I'm going to put you on my book list, and I'm going to start sending you a book of the month. I've got a really
do
good
that.
one.
I would love that.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to do that. What would you like your legacy to be known as far as storytelling and books, literacy?
Well, you know, I am very proud of everything that I've ever done in the music business, but I have to honestly say that I'm as proud of the Imagination Library is anything that I've ever done. Being called the book lady is something that I would be happy to go to my grave if they forgot everything else, and to say how involved I was in putting books in the hands of so many children and helping children to read. And that whole program is just so personal to me and so important, I think, that I take great, great pride in it.
Is there one book or song you wish you'd written? This is by Lee.
Oh, I wish I'd have written every hit book. I wish I'd have written every hit song. I keep thinking, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I write that? So I feel like that about a whole lot of things. I think every writer does that. When you hear something wonderful, you think, why didn't I think of that?
Well, I'm sending you so much love, and thank you, Dolly, for being with us here today.
Well, you are more than welcome, and I will see you at another time. Send me a book of the month now. I'm going to be waiting for it.
I'm going to send you a book of the month. I'm putting you on my list.
You do that. Thank you. Bye-bye.